fast high overview of the animation blueprint and how to use it. I'm not going to go over what makes the animation blueprint itself. Okay, so the animation blueprint from a high overview, it has the overlay system, the same like ALS. The class defaults, there's locomotion sets, overlay sets. They are made from the overlay sets are made from data assets, same as locomotion sets. They are data assets. These are mostly curves. Curve name. These are the layering curves. Same as if you change these, the same as ALS. Then any animations that have like overlays that are already set up from ALS, and you want to use them like with another locomotion set, for example, you already have like an animation that overlays the arm and the shoulder and the spine a little bit. These are already set up how you want them to be. You can just change the curves here and use the same animation. Okay. This is the trace for the floor. You can just set this to world static and it will work fine as well. Okay, so there is overlay and there is state locomotion. So locomotion, interpolation speed of these two are the interpolation speed of the orientation warping. Okay, this is the blend time between the 4 directions. So orientation warping, it rotates the root of the character, so so the direction will look right by having only 4 directions and not using any blend spaces. This is how much it takes to blend between the directions. This is how much the speed of the rotation. The gate speed, how much speed you need to be to enter running and how much speed you need to be to enter sprinting. Default routes at offset is an offset by default that if you have your legs like a little bit off in this specific move set, your legs are a little bit in the air like here. You can see that his legs are a bit in the air here. Right, so to put him down, I just put it just slightly down. The pelvis is, when you retarget sometimes, the IK bones, not the IK, the pelvis bone will be a bit higher, and it will make the IK relationship when you're at your most, like when your leg is mostly extended, it will make it snap. So you put the pelvis down a little bit so the legs won't snap. This is jump land crouch. When you land, I'm using a control rig that does this, just puts you down, and how much you go down by is that value. Jump land crunch. So this would work on running, whatever, sprinting, whatever pose it is. It's way better than using an additive. I use the additive for the upper body because that will always look kind of right. But the lower body, if your legs are very, very different, like you're sprinting and you have an idle additive, like one that you land on idle, your legs are too different, the position in it, so it will break. Okay, idle, we have normal, the first frame of the idle. We have an additive, it's just the same animation, but it's additive. An aim pose that uses the overlay system, so it needs to have the curves of the overlay. Min, turn in place, angled. These are self-explanatory stuff. Turn in place. The delay, the time that it takes to start turning in place once you have reached one of these min angles, so the 90 or the 180. Normally, the normal and when aiming, there are 2 different delays, and the speed. This is how fast the animation will play. This is the play rate of the animation itself. Because I'm getting the rotation from the animation, the faster you play the animation, the faster you rotate. Loops. Very simple, four-way, forward, right, and left, and backward. And we have here just lean right and left. If you don't have lean right and left, you can rotate the pelvis like so, and you will have something like a lean right and left. Or rotate the root if you want to. You can rotate the root. Yeah, it might look better if you rotate the root instead of the pelvis to have your lean. Blend space -45. So you'll have these as examples to know how to fill the blend space. This is the intensity, like the multiplier of the leaning. Starting 4 directions for strafing, and if you each gait, walk, run, or sprint can have its own like which way of rotating. Start rotating starts. You can have them if you want. You just have to tick this and fill it in. Stops, there is right up and left up. Both are supported. In here, I'm using the same animation for right up and left up in all Paragon sets. It works just fine. Same for the pivots. There is right up and left up. Right. I also put them the same thing. However, you just copy and paste it. I don't have to fill it in multiple times. Pivots is split into pre-pivot and post-pivot. Like the actual animations are split. So when you get this animation out of the box, or when you're trying to set up a new set, right? You don't have pivots. These strafe pivots don't exist. Assuming that you have rotating pivots, I have a bunch of animation modifiers. So there is auto sync markers. There is pivot. So pivot distance. This one. You'll get only the right one. I don't know where this is. This is probably from the project. It's not in the plugin. So the pivot distance will create the curve for you, and you can get from 0, like from negative to 0 is pre-pivot, from 0 to positive is post-pivot. You don't have these strafing pivots are not optional, but you don't have them in any of the other sets other than Paragon sets. So I have an animation blueprint that will help you record these animations from the loops. Have your pivots from the loops. I will have my next video will be on how to make these pivots from a normal set. I will do that. I will start making like a video with how to set up a full set. I'll probably do the mocap pro because it has the most number of transitions. So I'll set it up fully, probably, or maybe do something simpler so I can show you mostly this, because everything else is very simple to do. So that's pretty much what I have to do, is get a video for you guys to show you how to use the animation blueprint for pivots. And yeah, 3 gates non-strafe pivots is just like the running, like they have right up and left up for each. Like you will pivot. So non-strafe pivots is you running and then turning around 180. So you're either gonna turn 180 to the right, or you're gonna turn 180 to the left. Right up and left up is for the legs. These are like in mocap pro or Cobalt movement pro, you will find right up and left up in these. Spins, same thing. I have an animation blueprint that will record the spins from the loops. In Paragon animation they already exist, so they're filled in here. Jump, you get to pick whether it's a Paragon jump or not. If it's not a paragon jump, then time of the animation, the length of the animation will be used for the distance matching. So it'll be distance on time matching over instead of distance on distance curve. You can reset the rotation while you're not strafing when you jump. You set it when you're strafing, and there is different interpolation values, speeds for when you're not strafing, when you're strafing, and this is when you're aiming. When you're aiming, it will automatically reset the rotation. When you're aiming, it will always keep the rotation. Like try to keep it as with the camera, so no offset. That's pretty much it in here. So the overlays is the overlay switch time, how much it's gonna take for this specific overlay to switch. The idle, aim. If you have an active overlay that has an aim filled in, or then you will use the aim from this. If you don't have an active overlay, then you use the aim from your current moveset. For each gate, 4 ways. In air, when you first jump, when you're falling, and when you land. I don't even think that the landing one is necessary. I could have just used the same one as the fall or the jump, or maybe the idle, probably. For me, usually when I do these, it's usually like the idle one will go into the jump fall, the jump land will go into the entire thing. These will be different usually. Okay, so now that I covered both the data sets and what's in them, a video of me setting up something from zero will come. In the meantime, this week, if you are a Patreon for the last 3 months, I will say this again, please send me a message with your email on GitHub so you can get access to the repository so you can test this. Thank you guys very much for waiting for this. I'm sorry the stream did not work out as I expected to. For some reason, it's just not working. So, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have to go to show you guys how to actually add this. Yep. So, if you just take this, whatever you get, you like I sent you a message on. You're gonna have to change the folder name to Kai Locomotion, like this, like it's written here, and put it in your plugins folder. Build your project, and there shouldn't be much hassle in there. Then go to your character, whatever your player character, whatever it is, you will add BP anim component, which is this. You add it. Make sure you tick component replicates if it's not ticked, and is strafing or is not strafing by default. Whatever you choose in the character movement component, if you're using control or desired rotation or orient to movement, just set it there, whatever it is by default. And okay, the functions that you can use in here is set aiming. This tells the animation blueprint that you are aiming. It doesn't really do anything else. Set strafing is the same thing. It tells the animation blueprint that you are strafing. It doesn't do anything else. Set movement mode, on the other hand, actually sets you to strafing or not strafing. Changes your movement mode. This, if you don't have something else to, like if you don't have another way of doing it, this is here, so you can change it on your own. Change locomotion set with a tag, and change overlay set with a tag. There's also there we go. There's also a, oh yeah, I have to fill in the overlays because it's not filled in the animation blueprint. empty base overlay, and this will be, no, this will be empty. The rifle one will be rifle. The rifle overlay is not included. I'll take a look really quickly. It's idle, as you can see, walk, jog forwards, right, left, and backward. It's the same for all, and in air it's the same thing. They're just poses that I think they would look good in that specific situation, that's all. They're just poses, they're not even like an entire animation, it's just the first frame of the animation. So now if I go in here and I switch, you'll see that this guy right now is having the overlay with the aiming in it and everything else. This is not the best for it's not the best base set for that specific rifle, but you get what I mean. How did I change that right now? By playing a montage that has change locomotion set notify, which you can put what tag you want, and the same thing for the overlay. Okay. After you do that, that's pretty much all you have to do. You just have to add the component, and you gotta tell me when you change your aiming. When you're aiming, like you have to tell me when you aim, and you have to tell me when you're strafing, when you change from strafing or not. That's all. That's all I forgot to add. Again, thank you guys, and I will see you probably tomorrow or the day after. If you do get this, uh, please, if there is any issue or anything like that, let me know as soon as possible so I can get on it. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye bye.